What's up, people? I'm back. We're here to review Predator 2, continue on with the Predator franchise. I think this movie gets unfair heat. I think this is an awesome sequel. It does what a sequel does. It expands on the lore. And I think this one does that. We learn, like Aliens, we learn about the creature. We learn about the predators. We actually see a lot more of its weaponry. We see that actually it's also the film that is the first film that ties Alien and Predator together because there were comics at the time, but those were comics. So this was like in movie form, the first thing that connects this to Alien because later in the film, in like the pretty much the big final battle, you see that the Predator has a xenomorph skull on its thick tray of like hunts, of things it's killed. So I think that's kind of cool. This film has a good soundtrack. I mean, because you still have a lot of that like Alan Silvestri score here. Sorry about that playing. Um, Bill Paxton's in it. I think he's a dope character. And its character is interesting because he's supposed to like start off annoying, but you eventually gradually start liking him in the film. Danny Glover was fucking great in this. I think his character Harrigan was good. It's almost like because he feels like a different character compared when he was playing Murtaugh in the Lethal Weapon movies. Which is one thing I've heard that some people didn't like is this felt like a Lethal Weapon movie. I disagree. I've made the joke before, but it really isn't. You have some cast people who are in Lethal Weapon, like besides Danny Glover, Keys played by Gary Busey, who I thought was actually great in this. And then I think the main chief detective from that movie, who was Murtaugh's boss, played like a SWAT guy. And it was like more like probably just a little Easter egg, like, oh, here's this guy you might remember from Lethal Weapon. So, cheers. So this film starts off. It starts off with this like big shootout between LAPD. It's supposed to be Los Angeles in 1997, even though realistically this film came out in 1990. But and I think this is a scene I've heard some people didn't like because it felt too much like just a 90s LA thriller. But I think it was supposed to be. It's like it was like that action scene in the first one where the team attacks that camp. Like it was supposed to make you think, oh, this isn't just a normal Predator movie. This is why the Predator's here. So the Colombian gang and the LAPD have this big shootout. I actually think it was a nice little action scene. Then the gangsters move into this building. They get their weapons ready, and they seem like they're about to attack. Camouflage Predator attacks and kills them all. Uh, Danny and his team, Harrigan, sorry. So Harrigan is Danny Glover's character, and his team go in. He find the one lone uh, Colombian gangster. I guess his name is Scorpio. Um, Sees the predator start shooting, and then I keep saying Danny Harrigan shoots him. Fun little action scene, and it was kind of a cool way to kind of intro the movie. Then we see his precinct and get a look at what he's doing as a cop, and then we kind of jump to a scene where there's this guy, Colombian dude, having sex with his girlfriend. Jamaican gangsters who are like, because there's this gang war between the Jamaicans and the Colombians going on. They storm in, kind of take shit over, about to kill this dude. Predator shows up, and another thing, they really show you the Predator's prowess. I mean, in the first one they do, but in this movie you see multiple scenes. Besides the one that was off screen, this one you actually see. This is where you see a lot of its weaponry, like that net that cuts through people's skin. They showcase the spear, that disc. Um, they have like a bunch of weaponry. Like you see, and you actually see like Predator taking out a group of people, and you actually realize it is strong. Because in the first one, it was taking people out one at a time. In this, the Predator is actually taking out groups of people. So he takes out the people. Harrigan and his crew team up. You have this one annoying like news guy, who's like trying to like he's supposed to be like a representation of like the I guess a really aggressive media. So they go in trying to figure out what happened. They come in, really nice shot of like all the bodies skinned and all that. Keyes' team shows up, and you start kind of realizing Keyes knows what the Predator is. So you could tell, like, and they wanted to convey to the audience, he knows what's going on. He's being really secretive. You saw earlier in the movie, there was like a scene where him and Harrigan shook hands. That's why I didn't really mention it, because it was really quick. Keyes basically warns Harrigan to stay the fuck away. Harrigan tells his friend Danny, who is basically he's like his best friend. Basically, tell him no, come here later. I'll meet you later. And then he tells uh, Bill Paxton's character, I think his name's Jerry, if I remember. Yeah, it's Jerry. Tells Jerry to like follow Keyes. And then there's like a scene at a bar, and Harrigan's trying to figure out what's going on. Then Danny shows up by himself. He's investigating the house. He finds like a necklace. He tries to get it. Predator kills him. Really cool kill. It's actually kind of sad because Danny was a good dude, and he was like, you saw, even for the little bit you saw of him, his connection and his friendship with Harrigan, and it's like, damn, just gets killed like that. The next day, gets reprimanded by his boss. Harrigan basically kind of like basically fucks with Keyes, basically telling him, I'm gonna find you, kill your thing. Basically tells him, I'm gonna kill what you're looking for. Um, Jerry and I'm trying to think of the girl cop's name. Um, they basically say Leona, that's her name. So Leona and Jerry basically join with them to look for the creature. Um, and basically they want to arrange a meeting with King Willie. So they go to the like some kind of I don't know if it's a forensic doctor about what's happening, and they found this spear tip. Basically, is what it looked like. And when it was found out it's not from Earth, King Willie shows up. We get the King Willie scene, and basically King Willie basically tells them we're being hunted by the same thing. Cool little scene, and then the Predator shows up when Harrigan leaves. This is my opinion, one of my favorite scenes in this movie. When the Predator was camouflaged, the music was perfect. It jumped down when it was walking on the puddle, and it was going in and out of camouflage, and you could see like the Predator's reflection through the water. It was fucking perfect. And that was the other thing you noticed. You saw that the Predators have a different design because it has a different helmet. Doesn't look like the first one. Kills King Willie. And it was actually kind of cool to see the process of him. You don't see it fully, like him skinning him, but you do see like pulling out the spine, and then him basically the process of cleaning out the blood, and he puts the skull as a trophy. And this is where you get a quick glimpse shot of the Xeno skull. You don't see it all the way, and then this is where it was found out about King Willie's death. Uh, Harrigan tells Leona and Jerry to meet him somewhere later. Then the boy, something fell again. Danny goes to the graveyard. Not Danny. It's because I'm calling him Danny Glover. That's why. Harrigan goes to the grave to kind of honor Danny. The Predator follows him. You have a scene where, like, I guess there's like another kid there. The kid has like a toy gun, and this is where the Predator sees him. And the Predator detects that the weapon was fake. Then the Predator leaves the necklace that from the scene of Danny's kill, to freak out Harrigan. I actually really like this scene. I like the little scenes in this movie, like just. And I liked like the background. So Leona and Jerry get on a bus, not a bus, a train, a subway train. A group of gangsters start harassing passengers. They all pull guns. Predator shows up. Really cool scene. It was kind of cool. You see Predators kill a group of people, and it was kind of cool because you were seeing it from his vision too. Then Jerry Leona gets some of the passengers away while Jerry basically stays and fights, gets killed. Leona manages to get the passengers away, but then the Predator shows up, chokes her, and this is where it's found out she's pregnant. So she passed out from shock. Harrigan shows up. This is where we get basically the start of the final act. You have this kind of cool chase scene with the man. Sylvester's theme is so good. I think it's kind of underrated. It's a score I don't feel like a lot of people talk about. You know, when it comes to movie themes, I think this theme's actually really good. It fits, and they play it at the perfect time. Harrigan sees the Predator. We have this kind of cool chase. Harrigan punches the one media guy. Then Keyes basically stops him on the way. And this is where it's revealed Keyes was chasing the Predator the whole time. He knows what the creature is and what it can do, so he has a team of him to try to take it down. Because they want to take basically for like the government. So they go to the slaughterhouse, which is where the Predator's hiding. His team goes there, but they end up all getting killed. Besides, the Predator and this is another scene where you see the Predator kind of take out a group of people. And I love its like vision in this. And Harrigan breaks free and goes inside. Harrigan confronts the Predator. We have a little bit of a powwow. The Harrigan ends up. Keyes ends up shooting Predator. Not Keyes. Harrigan shoots Predator. Seemingly, the Predator's dead, and because you get the little bit of that callback, the one ugly mother, and the Predator says it. That was kind of funny. And this is where we get the Predators. Oh, because Danny pulls the mask off. And Keyes is alive. Then the Predator kills him with the disc. Then we have a fight on the roof. They end up getting pushed off. The Predator starts to use the bomb. Harrigan uses the disc, cuts the Predator's hand off. Then the Predator manages to escape into a house. And you see it kind of like heals its wounds, and retreats to its ship. Danny follows him there, and then we have like this big fight. Like, I'll say this: it's not as good as, let's say, Arnold versus Predator, but I actually really like the final fight. Then Danny manages to kill the Predator with the disc by stabbing it in the chest. Then the other Predators show up, and this is my opinion, and this is the scene where you see the full-on Xeno skull and the other creatures it's killed. Then the other Predators show up, and you start seeing like they all have a different mask. This is where we're introduced to the Elder Predator. They take the body, and then they give Harrigan this gun as like a thing of like respect in a way. So you kind of realize the Predators do kind of have a code, and it's kind of cool. Then they manage to leave with the ship, and the film ends. Predator 2 is fucking awesome. I fucking love this movie. I love that it explores the Predator as a creature. We get more of the background on the creature itself. I actually like a lot of the characters. I think Harrigan's awesome. I think Jerry was cool. I think I liked everybody. King Willie's dad's probably my favorite kill of the whole movie. Then I would say the scene where the Predator was killing those Jamaican guys. I thought that was a cool kill. There were some really good kills in this movie. And I love the city setting. I thought it was a nice little... we did the jungle in the first one, so let's do the city in the second one. And I actually think it's perfect. And I actually really do dig the Predator 2 design of the Predator design in this movie. And it was really cool that you see that there's other Predators. They all have like different types of helmets. You know, it connected the Predator franchise to Alien, so now we all know they're one big franchise. You know, and they're in the same universe. There were comics, but it just now it's kind of cool to see in film. It's confirmed. I don't get the hate. Like, yeah, it's not Predator 1, but I think, and this is going to be a video I will do at some point. Stop looking at every movie. If it's not like the first one, it sucks automatically. That shit needs to stop. Predator 2 is fucking amazing. It's just because it's not the first movie doesn't mean it's not good. You got to start looking at things as their own. I don't think The Last Jedi is a piece of shit because it's not the Empire. Because it's not Empire Strikes Back or it's not the first Star Wars. No. Last Jedi is just a shit movie. It was gonna be shit even if Empire or A New Hope didn't exist. It's like we gotta stop that. I just think that gets annoying because I think it's not a fair. You know, it's like for example, I don't like Terminator Dark Fate. I don't think Dark Fate's bad because it's not T2 or it's not Terminator 1. No, it's just a shit movie. You gotta look at movies as their own thing. Predator 2 is fucking great. Sorry, guys. I don't get the hate for this movie. I think this movie does not deserve the hate. It gets lumped in as like a bad sequel, and it really isn't. I actually think it's one of the better sequels. I actually think the score is pretty good in this. And it expands the lore. So, this film's phenomenal. Out of 10 is like a 10 out of 10. I would actually give this a 10 too. I find myself watching this right after the first one. If I watch the first Predator, I watch Predator 2 right after. And just great cast. It may not be as good of a cast like the first one, but I will agree that first one had an amazing cast. But I thought the cast was really good. I thought Harrigan was a decent character, and Danny Glover did it perfectly. You know, I was a little bit because I had watched Lethal Weapon before I had watched this. I was like, oh, is this gonna be like Lethal Weapon? It really wasn't. It was a Predator movie. So, I'd advise anybody watch it, especially if you love the Predator franchise. Watch it. Friday we're gonna be reviewing Predators. I actually really like that one. I have like some issues, like the final act. I'm not a fan of. But other than that, I really like Predators. So that's going to be fun to review on Friday. Tomorrow, we're going to be ripping into Alien Covenant a little bit. Because I think there are things that movie does that's right. I'll even spoil like one scene. The scene with the xenomorph in the shower is fucking dope. That's one of my favorite xenomorph scenes in a movie. Sorry about the fucking bee that had a fly in a frame. Also, another really good scene was that scene where that xenomorph bursted out of the back. So, there are some good things in this movie. It's just, Alien Covenant, man, but it fucks up a lot. So, I want to get into that tomorrow, but Predator 2 is fucking awesome. Watch it. Other than that, yeah, so tomorrow, Alien Covenant. Then Thursday, I'm going to fix Mummy 3. So, there you go. I'm going to take one more hit and peace the fuck out. Cheers. Alright, guys. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Fuck Warner Brothers. Fuck Disney. Fuck Mortal Kombat 2021. Fuck Freddie Rich Jr. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.